5.4 is public input concerning items on the agenda. We already have some speaker slips in, but this is a call for public input regarding items on the agenda, and we're about to close the link for a request. So at the appropriate agenda item, you will be called to speak, and then please be sure to click raise hand on your Zoom screen, and I think most of you have. If we're calling in, dial *9 to raise your hand to make sure that we can find you and pass you into the call. If you are unable to access the live link to the request to provide public input form, please email Megan Bennett at mBennett@DMUSD.org, 2 N's, 2 T's. 5.5 is board approval of Governing Board of Trustees meeting minutes. Is there a motion to approve the minutes?
I'll move to approve the minutes.
Thank you. Second?
I'll second.
Roll call vote. Member Wooden?
Aye.
Member Raffner?
Aye.
Member Mock?
Aye.
Member Fitzpatrick?
Aye.
An aye for me. The motion passes. Item 6.1 or through 6.18 is the consent agenda. And then I believe, Holly, you had a comment on one of the items.
I do. Actually, 6.9, Chris Delahanty has an update to item 6.9. So Chris, if you can explain the update that you have for that item before the board proceeds.
Absolutely. So we 6.9 is bringing forward a company group that will be doing paleontological, archaeological, and Native American observation as part of the mitigation of our MND during the Del Mar Heights School rebuild. We had an initial proposal and we were waiting on an updated proposal. We've attached that updated proposal to the board agenda item, and it does reduce the not to exceed to about approximately $35,900 instead of approximately $47,000. So it's actually a savings to the districts. We had asked for the updates, and we've attached that. Again, we've attached that proposal, but we wanted the board to know that the not to exceed number on that proposal is the reduced number that's on the attached proposal.
Great. Are there any questions?
I do. I have a question regarding 6.6. Maybe Holly, you could just give a little brief synopsis of what consists of the annual bullying report and how that data is compiled and collected.
Sure. This is an ongoing report that occurs throughout the year and is reported annually as a requirement. Every district does this. And Jenny Huz, our Director of Student Services, she actually oversees this for our entire districts and supports our schools and principals in this in creating not only the bullying report, but with helping and assisting throughout the school year in making our campuses safe and wonderful places for children. And part of that is obviously addressing bullying. So Jenny, if you would describe this report and how it relates to what you do regarding the support for principals.
Sure. So hello, first of all. As we receive any bullying incident report from a school principal or directly from a parent, I then follow up with the principal regarding the situation. There's usually an investigation that happens, and that can, depending on the situation, we want to get input from any witnesses. And we're really looking at supporting our students in this situation. So really trying to determine if the incident meets the definition of bullying as defined by the Ed Code, or is this more of an incident of a disciplinary situation, or students maybe just having a conflict. And so it's really a process of investigating, and we hear from all the students involved and any witness, and then we follow up with the family and with the students, and regardless of the finding, we usually follow up with a restorative practice, some sort of intervention that supports all the students involved. And then I record those. I'm in close communication and work collaboratively with the site principals, during that investigation process, and then I will respond with a formal response to the parents or any person reporting the incident.
Thanks, Jenny. And is this a public report?
The report that I provided to you is a public report, yes. The names and the specifics of the incident reports are not public.
Thanks, Jenny.
Can I just ask out of curiosity, like what happens if an incident doesn't rise to the level of bullying? Are those kind of tallied somewhere?
If it was received as an incident report, that is included in the number that I provided you with the report that you have. We still respond formally to the parents if we have received a bullying report. Sometimes if it's something that a parent may say, I feel like this happened on the playground today, and we hear that word being used quite a bit. We hear the word bullying used often, and so it is a process of following up to determine if that is something that rises to the level of an incident report. And so that happens with the school site principal and the person making the allegation. And then we always ask parents to follow up with an incident report once they hear that definition, if they would like to pursue that process. So then we conduct a full investigation, and regardless of whether we find it to be a bullying incident or not, we respond with a full report.
Thanks.
Any other questions?
I have a question that was sent by email. I just want to make sure on 6.18 for the after school position. I just want to make sure that range, that salary range, that's within the minimum wage, I would imagine, correct?
That is correct. If you need more specifics, I couldn't get Jason Romero, our Assistant Superintendent of HR, but yes, all of our employees' salaries are within the minimum wage range.
Okay, that's the question.
There he is. Jason, would you add anything to that? I see you there.
Good evening, Board President Halpern and governing board members and Superintendent Dr. McClure. Yes, it's within the range. The position is not a revision of any past positions. It's a new position to really make sure that we have the opportunity for a robust after-school program if needed. So currently, the position that is our after-school program workers will still be paid accordingly, and this position will be brought in to help when we need additional support and supervision to ensure that we have low cohort numbers. So really, it's not going to be anything that is outside or below minimum wage. Of course, we're ensuring that the salary is, at this case, I believe $3 above minimum wage. So yes.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks. Any other questions?
Actually, Erica, I just realized, President Halpern, I just realized that during my report, I didn't introduce our two newest principals. So since that is part of our personnel item, I would love to be able to introduce them at this time before you vote on consent. It actually is it's wonderful to be able to introduce to our community and to our board our new principal at Sycamore Ridge School, Chelsea Moore. Chris, is she waiting somewhere that we can have her come in? Oh, Casey's there. Casey can come on in as well. There's Chelsea. They're both here. So Chelsea Moore is our new principal at Sycamore Ridge, and Casey Lang is our new principal at Ashley Falls. And Jason, would you tell the community just a little bit about each of these fine educators?
Yeah, I mean, I really could speak for half an hour on how amazing these folks are, but just to give people the Cliff Note version, and Cliff Notes are something that for those of us that are a little bit older, will know what that reference is into. But Chelsea, let's just start with her. Chelsea. Chelsea's been part of our district since 2014. She came to us by the way of Poway School District, where she started in 2007. She served on a number of committees. She's been an integral part of all of what we've done over the past, 7 years when we really looked at where our district is going. Last year, she was an assistant principal, primarily servicing Sage Canyon Elementary. This year, we're super excited to have her to be the new principal at Sycamore Ridge. She's going to just be an amazing leader. Our assistant principals really are a pipeline to becoming principals, and Chelsea just followed in the footsteps of many amazing assistant principals and now principals in our district. She's passionate. She puts children's centered. She makes children-centered decisions. She's really just an amazing educator, and we're lucky to have her as our newest principal at Sycamore Ridge.
Thank you. President Halperin, members of the board, Dr. McClurg, good evening. Thank you so much for this opportunity. I'm extremely honored to be able to be the principal next year at Sycamore Ridge. I know Sycamore Ridge is a wonderful place to be with a dedicated staff and a supportive community, and I feel very fortunate to continue that work next year, and I look forward to a wonderful school year.
Welcome, Chelsea. Thanks for popping in and introducing yourself to everybody.
Now we have Casey Lang. So Jason, why don't you tell us a little bit about Casey Lang?
Yeah, and just like Chelsea, I could speak for hours on Casey. You know, Casey has a unique experience of starting off as an educator in the Cajon Valley School District, where he was an elementary school teacher, a middle school teacher, became a principal. He then relocated to Oregon a few years ago and was a principal out in Oregon. And very serendipitously, he was looking for a position as we cast our wide net and did a nationwide search for the next principal at Ashley Falls. He threw his hat in the ring, and it was really a 5-step process with an application of video introduction, a first-round interview, second-round interview, and then reference checks made by our superintendent. And Casey just really shined through all of those processes. He's a passionate educator. He fosters a student-centered climate, one that promotes empathy and respect and pride. He's described by his current district his just recently passed district that he left as a dynamic educator who's great with people and a true inspirational leader. So we're excited to have Casey joining the Ashley Falls community. Welcome, Casey, and best of luck.
Welcome, Casey. And Casey has a special challenge being meeting everybody from Zoom only initially. So it's a unique circumstance, and we appreciate you jumping in. So go ahead.
Absolutely. President Halper, members of the board, and Dr. McClurg, I just want to reiterate my appreciation for the opportunity to serve. It is beyond exciting to join the Del Mar team, and I just, from the beginning of my experience, it has been nothing but welcoming, and I just appreciate that because the transition can be a little bit scary at times, but it has been wonderful, and I just look forward to just a fantastic year and many years to come. So once again, thank you for the opportunity. I appreciate it.
Thank you both, and welcome aboard.